Rebekah Brooks quitting as the boss of News International. Also, for more on this, I'm joined by Alex de Groote, a media analyst at Panmure Gordon. Alex, thanks very much indeed for coming in. So, Brooks's resignation, how much of a blow is this for Rupert Murdoch?
I think it is a blow. I think it strikes a blow against his personal credibility. The timing is a minor surprise, although maybe in totality her departure isn't a big surprise in the scheme of things.
So what does this mean then for News Corp as a whole, and particularly given the significance of all of this, the way it basically scuppered the acquisition for BSkyB, the most profitable media organisation in this country? Any implications for that, or is that essentially delayed in the short to medium term future still?
A change in the helm at News International may signal a change in the commitment levels to News International for the medium term. Our own pet theory is that they can't come back to bid effectively and successfully for BSkyB whilst they remain the owners of News International, unless the clouds which have been hovering start to disappear. But let's be frank, there's no sign of that anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, nevertheless, given that so much of the focus, so much attention throughout this phone hacking scandal has been on Rebekah Brooks, with the Prime Minister himself, leader of the opposition, people calling for her resignation, calling for the person thought to be responsible to step down, even as the News of the World newspaper was closed. I mean, will this go any way towards alleviating the pressure, taking the heat off News Corp a little bit?
I think it may alleviate some of the public pressure, absolutely. But the interesting thing might be the timing, in the sense that the DCMS Select Committee is due to sit next week. So why now rather than post that committee?
And of course, one of the key priorities for the Murdochs has been to sort of contain this crisis, if you like, make sure that it doesn't spread to other parts of the business. But we have seen signs of trouble on the other side of the Atlantic, with several senators, congressmen calling for an investigation into reports that victims of the 9/11 attack had their phones hacked as well. What could be the implications for that?
I think the big picture here is basically this phrase that we use time and again, calls fit and proper. As a broadcaster, are they fit and proper to hold a broadcast licence? The more the allegations deepen, the more the legislators or regulators get involved on either side of the pond, the more this issue becomes pertinent to consider. And of course, that would pose questions for the long-term ownership of BSkyB too. And
so then how does all this affect the way directors, the way investors might view James Murdoch and the sort of company's crisis management skills, if you like?
I hear people talking about corporate governance more and more, but let's separate News Corp from Sky. As I've been at pains to point out, Sky is a valuable company, which at around these levels is probably quite interestingly valued, as long as earnings momentum remains as good as the company have indicated. For News Corp and Sky at large, maybe the issue of corporate governance, however, is becoming more relevant. Yeah, but I guess the fact that Sky is such a profitable company, I mean, that just increases the chances that News Corp will do everything it can to try and get its hands on this company. It's always worth repeating the maths. Sky does £1 billion of op profit. News International would do an absolute fraction of that.